What's going on, guys? Stefan with you, S&E's Garage, and we bought a seriously neglected and a seriously damaged 2011 Hyundai Elantra Touring. So last year around this time, we actually bought a Hyundai very similar to this. Same 2-liter 4-cylinder engine. And I made a comment that these are one of the most reliable Hyundais ever built. And I still stand behind that comment. But there's a caveat to that. You need to maintain them. Unfortunately for this car, the previous owner didn't maintain it as well as they should have. Whether that's because they didn't know what they needed to do to keep it going, or they just didn't care to. Obviously it is in very poor mechanical shape, and there is a reason for that. So they did their fluids, they did their oil changes, they checked, they kept up with the filters. It's got a newer diehard battery in it, things like that. But there is one extremely important belt under this timing cover that was never replaced. And for those of you that know, these are interference engines. So if we pop that upper timing cover off, this is what we are greeted with. This timing belt snapped. And like I said, these are very much interference engines. Every one of these that I've touched in the dealer that snapped the belt had some degree of bent valves. And we took a gamble on it. We paid $500 for this car. And the next couple of videos that we make on it, we're going to do some exploratory surgery. We're going to go ahead and, as minimally invasive as possible, take a look down into these cylinders, and we're going to see if we can see any marks on top of the pistons from piston to valve contact. If we don't see anything obvious, we're going to slap a belt on it, and we'll check compression and see what we come up with. But there's a pretty good shot that we're going to be pulling this cylinder head and at minimum replacing some valves. So this is probably going to be one of the most in-depth repairs and flips that we've done on the channel, because we are actually going to dive into this 2-liter Hyundai engine, and like I said, we'll probably end up pulling the cylinder head. Let's take a look inside and check the rest of the car out. So like we said, this is the Elantra Touring, so this is basically the station wagon version of this car. And I actually like these a lot. Like I said, this is probably one of the better cars that Hyundai has ever made. And besides needing a pretty good deep cleaning, the car is in pretty nice shape. The seats are not ripped, they're not torn. There's a little bit of shampooing we can do in here to clean it up a little bit. And it's not in bad shape. It's got 171,102 miles on it. And it also, funny story, does not come with an alternator. The previous owner had put an alternator in it a week before the timing belt snapped. It's a friend of mine. They actually brought it to me because they wanted me to fix it. And when I told them what was going to need to be done, they didn't want the car anymore. So I made them an offer. We paid $500 for this car. And we're going to see what we can't do to go ahead and get it, like I said, back on the road. Now, minus this front fender, the rest of the body is in really nice shape. You see we have some very nicely tinted windows here. And this Elantra has a party trick back here. Like I said, this is a station wagon. So we have all of this trunk space. Plenty of room to party here. So let's open this up, see what we got under here. Got some old, ew, got some old fruit snacks, or fruit over here. And then under here we should have, yep, we have our donut spare that actually never looks like it's been used. Now I had the tow truck driver park it real close to this side of the house, so we can't really get too close. But this side of the body is, if you sight it, is almost perfect. There's no real measurable dings or anything that we can see. The tires appear to be in pretty good shape. Probably about a 6 mil or 6/32 in the front. Probably a little bit closer to a 4 up front. Sorry, 6 in the back, 4 in the front. so we're not going to have to put any tires on it. Might need brakes. We'll see what happens. Before we order an alternator and start, you know, changing brakes and things like that, we're going to do that exploratory surgery and see what kind of condition the engine is internally. So definitely stay tuned if you want to see us get elbow deep into this Elantra. We're going to definitely, almost definitely be tearing into this engine. And like I said, we're going to get it fixed. So please like, share, and subscribe. Stay tuned if you want to see more on this car. And then at the end of the video, or the end of the project, we'll go over what we spent on the car, what we spent to repair it, and what kind of profit we make. See you next time.